Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Talk me through what you've been going through since draft night.
Just a lot of figuring out of things coming off the bench over there at Utah, just trying to find a role over there, and then here in the whole year. Things are going to be different after the deadline. Rookies don't get traded, so we'll see how it is after that. Rookies do get traded, in case anybody was wondering.
You weren't even worried going into the trade deadline, were you?
I mean, not at all. I'm going to be honest with you.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, April 14th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, the Grizzlies held their exit interviews yesterday. I'll tell you what I thought were the most important things that we heard from Zach Kleiman, Tomas Iisalo, Cedric Coward, Gigi Jackson, and the rest of the Grizzlies on the end of the season. The WNBA Draft was last night. Azzi Fudd, #1, reunited with Paige Beckers. A very weird situation with the Golden State Valkyries and Flau'jae Johnson and the Seattle Storm, the history between Caitlin Clark and her new teammate. We will get into it all. Mike Wallace is going to join us as he does each and every Tuesday. We'll talk about the Grizzlies. We'll get into the NBA play-in tournament. That starts tonight. We'll do a little TV Tuesday as well. Lots to get into. This is a euphoric stretch in the sports calendar, CJ. The play-in tournament starting tonight. We have the NBA playoffs. We have the NHL playoffs. We have the MLB season. We have the WNBA season. We have the World Cup coming in June. Nothing ever stops.
No, it never. It's sports, baby.
It's sports.
We keep going.
It's sports.
Let's go.
That's sports. Let's start with Grizzlies exit interviews. It's a sport adjacent, and it is a sport. The art of speaking is a sport, and exit interviews happening yesterday here in Memphis after our show wrapped. The season always ends. We hear from the team, and then it's like really the end. A lot of have a good summers on people's ways out. Hags. Were you a hags guy or a hack-ass guy?
A what?
I'm sorry, you never wrote hags in a yearbook?
So here's the way.
You never wrote hack-ass in a yearbook?
No. So by the time I got to like 8th grade, the yearbook came out the next year. So you get the 2003-2004 school year yearbook the August of 2004. So we didn't get them out.
Why?
I don't know.
That's so sad.
Nah.
You never spent a whole day chasing signatures?
When I was 6th grade, 6th and 7th grade, we signed it.
Okay.
But like we just
Hags
signed.
is have a good summer.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that.
Hack-ass is have a kick-ass summer.
Yeah, we didn't.
H-A-K-A-S.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that.
Never change. Love ya.
Maybe love you. Love you might have been in somebody's.
I wonder if the kids are still doing hags.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if anybody outside of your circle is doing that.
That's not true. This is a very normal thing. People in the chat, people of the world, spice up your life.
Never heard anybody say that.
Yes,
okay,
thank you, Jacob.
Okay,
even Jacob the child is in my ear saying
the kids are still doing it. Okay.
It's a very...
But this is the first time I've ever heard this.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I must be under a rock. I have no clue.
It must have been a private school. Well, no, Jacob went to private school.
Well, and again, like my private school, first off, I think girls get more excited about yearbooks than guys.
True.
And then guys feed off of that excitement and try to court girls by getting yearbooks signed and things like that. Or guys would like
ruin yearbooks too.
Right, because guys
have
are
a page
jerks.
for your friends, and a guy would be like,
they'd be jerks. Went to all boys school. We didn't need really show affection in that way. The way we showed affection was purple nurples and cup checks and stuff like that.
Same thing.
Same
thing. Words. Actions.
Dog pals, flesh pals, right?
Everything.
Like that's taping you to the field goal post. We really like this kid. What are we going to do to show him that we like him? We're older than him. We're seniors, and he's a 8th grader. He's fun. What are we going to do? Let's carry him to the football field and tape him to the field goal post.
Wow.
He'll be cool with it.
That doesn't sound
so like that. That was our yearbook signing. That was our hack ass, so to speak.
Well, the Grizzlies said hack ass and got on out of here yesterday after they wrapped up their season Sunday. Finished 6th best odds in this year's draft lottery. We now have a breather until May 10th, but yesterday was the last order of business before we can kind of take a cool, calm, collected sigh and deep breath as we move on from this past season, close the book on this, move into the future. We heard from Zach Kleiman, Tomas Iisalo, Ty Jerome, Taj Gibson, Taylor Hendricks, Gigi Jackson, Cam Spencer, Walter Clayton, Cedric Coward, Ryan Repair, Javon Small, and Jemai Mashek. We had previously heard from Scottie Pippen Jr., Zach Edey, Santi Aldama, Jalen Wells, and Omax Prosper at the Grizzlies' last home game. I'm pretty sure Omax, his conflict yesterday that he was excused from exit interviews for and got his out of the way at the Grizzlies' last home game. He was at the WNBA Draft last night. His sister got drafted. They are the first Canadian siblings to be drafted in the NBA and the WNBA. His sister played at Notre Dame. She was picked by the Mystics in the 2nd round. Very cool to see for the Prosper family. Within that list, that means that we did not hear from Ja Morant yesterday. We did not hear from Brandon Clark or Kenny Caldwell-Pope. Zach Kleiman was asked about Brandon Clark and said he could not discuss an ongoing legal case, which makes sense. And we will jump right on in to the Ja Morant of it because it wasn't much. And I know that's one of the things people were most anticipating, what would be said in that accord. And the second question, so not right out the gate, but the second thing that Zach Kleiman was asked yesterday was about the jersey incident and Ja Morant and what transpired at the final home game here for the Grizzlies. And I will read Zach Kleiman's answers on the 2 Ja-related questions that he received word for word so that nothing is misconstrued. He said, quote, "I appreciate the question. What I would say there is ever since the deadline, everyone sat down and there has been an open, honest, and respectful communication the entire time with Ja and with his camp. I think when you see these types of situations around the league, it's really easy for miscommunications to happen. It's really easy for certain things to get lost in translation. I think for the entirety of this stretch, Ja has been a pro. He has attacked his rehab, and he has done everything you hope he would do. From all ways, the communication is going to continue to be honest, respectful, and nothing but that. And then a little bit later on, he was straight up asked by, I believe it was Clay Bailey, is Ja Morant going to be on this team, or is the future of this team with Ja Morant on it? And Zach said, quote, I will reiterate that Ja has been a pro. We have had open dialogue and respectful dialogue. I think everyone is on the same page as much as they can be. Respectful to the situation, I am not going to speculate on potential transactions. CJ.
What?
Would you have expected anything but that kind of a response yesterday?
Hopeful for some stuff.
But not necessarily expectant.
Not expected. I think that he's going to answer the question. Zach Kleiman is a tremendous orator, and he what the message is, he gets.
He's a lawyer, and I don't say that critically. That's just a fact.
You have
he speaks good legalese.
They don't let him listen. I can critique. I wasn't down there. I'm not a capital J journalist, but there's got to be some follow-ups to some of these. So
it's a hard realm for the follow-up.
Yeah, because they take the mic.
Because you don't get the mic. So then it's like 4 questions have been asked.
No, you can't take the mic.
But that doesn't work. The mic person, as someone who used to be,
I was there waiting on that mic.
You want to know who I got in a fight with at a mic situation once? Because when I was an intern for the Rose Bowl, I was in charge of the mics on press conferences. Do you remember Bonnie Bernstein?
Yeah.
She was so mad at me. I had very strict orders. Take the question is asked, take that mic out of their hands and move on. And she wanted that mic for a second follow-up question, and I did my duties and I took it out.
Did you get it
and she
from
went
her?
to my boss.
Did you get it from her?
Yes.
You took it from her.
Yes, I was like, I cannot let you keep this microphone. Anyway, all that said, like you can't hold on to the mic. You got to give it back.
Yeah.
Or else the person is going to get in trouble. Anyway,
it may,
but in terms of like setting the scene of how this thing operates, it's difficult for him.
So he knew, right? So the question is, hey, what was going on with that situation on the court?
Sure.
Ja Morant not giving a jersey. Zach gives his answer. The next question's got to be, hey, so he knew? And this is not like you've got to have the mic to be heard in that room. You can just shout it out.
Yeah.
So he knew, and then we keep it moving from there. There was a directness that I was hoping for, and you got some of that, but in particular as it pertains to the Ja Morant situation, I think that it still allows some people to think about this with some sort of ambiguity. Like there's a chance that something might happen and reconciliation is a thing. But hey, you also want to be mindful. You don't want to tank trade value.
That's what I think the main point is.
So you're kind of trying to walk a very, very fine line. But all in all, it's GM speak.
I thought it was totally expected GM speak, a sensible response for the GM speak. Did it answer either question? No. But if you have eyeballs, you understand this relationship is fractured. We saw Ja just played 20 games this season after he played 50 last year and 9 the year before. And this is a team that through both what it has said and not said and through actions appears to be done with the Ja Morant business, and now you still want to find a trade partner because it is a business and it doesn't really behoove anyone to escalate the drama of this situation or to pour any gas on the flames at this point. And so you just move forward and you hope that that matter of business will and can get taken care of this summer. So would I have loved more? Yeah, of course I would have loved more. Did I expected more? Not necessarily. You got the expected tone of exit interviews, like very business focused and very read between the lines on some things, like the Ja Morant situation, like when he was asked about the balance of the value of how this team played at the end of the season versus the cost of the product and the customers. And obviously that question is being tap danced around too. Like, hey, you guys were clearly not trying to win games at the end of this year. And Zach's answer to that question was, quote, the focus for the final stretch of the season and post-trade deadline was to put the group in the best possible spot going into next season. Like, you cannot just sit up there and say, yeah, we tanked. Yeah, we'd do it again. We're really excited about the opportunity to have at least one lottery pick. Maybe we get lucky and have 2 lottery picks in this year's draft. You can't talk about it. Like, you can't say that straight up. And so instead you kind of dance around it a little bit. And you talk about, zooming all the way out. I thought it was interesting from a zooming all the way out, seeing the group of young players that they have, coupled with as many first-round assets as nearly anyone else in the league, which is true. And like in regards to why fans should be encouraged that he can build a winner quickly, that this Grizzlies team can rebound quickly. Zach said it's going to speak for itself soon, and those assets are real, and the opportunity to rebuild this is certainly paved ahead of them. You never know until you see how it plays out. You don't know until you see this team play games and hopefully win basketball games. But there is real reason to be encouraged as we close, this chapter of Memphis Grizzlies basketball and move forward into whatever the next great beyond is.
Channeling my inner Ja Morant, throwing a grenade your way. Are you encouraged?
I asked myself that as I sat there yesterday.
I'm asking
and yes,
you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was curious because this season was such a bummer. Like, there's no getting around it. So you don't feel good at the end of the year, and you don't want to unnecessarily set yourself up for disappointment. But I think there is genuine reason for this team to be encouraged and genuinely excited. If you strike in the draft, if you strike right in the draft, both with your pick and whatever additional pick you get, be it the Orlando Magic's pick most likely, and where that falls we'll see as the play-in tournament takes place over the next couple of days, like, you can get franchise, if not changing guys, like leading guys. And I thought the players we heard from yesterday, the two that I enjoyed listening to the most, Cedric Coward and Gigi Jackson. Gigi seems to be in a good headspace. He specifically talked about how he feels like he's in a good place with the organization, and I thought that, coupled with Kleiman's comments on Gigi and how pleased the organization was with him and his ability to come out of the G League stint, really take everything that they threw at him and work his way into a really productive and efficient third season with this team. I thought that was good from a sense of, now, does anything you hear in exit interviews, should it be taken as gospel? No. Like, again, this is all business. Things will be shopped in the offseason. The other thing, the other player that Kleiman specifically spoke on that really raised my antennas was when he was asked if he wanted or some version of, do you want Ty Jerome to be a part of this? And, like, without missing a beat, he said absolutely. And that's interesting because Ty Jerome would foster a lot of value. He's probably like the most valuable player who is on this roster right now. But if you want him to be a part of this thing, it would indicate to me a belief that he could be a veteran that helps steady this, that helps run this offense as they move into what this future looks like. But listening to Cedric Coward, like, this is not saying that Cedric Coward will be the best player on the future Memphis Grizzlies team, but he might be the best speaker. And he certainly is right now. Like, did you hear any of his comments, CJ, from yesterday?
Yeah.
When he was asked if he felt pressure to be, like, ahead of schedule because of being older when he was drafted, and his response was essentially like, do you know how old Michael Jordan was when he was drafted? That was a fun aside, but every single word that came out of Cedric Coward's mouth, there is a politician-like air to it, but there's also an earnestness that I think is a really tricky balance to strike, and Cedric Coward seems to strike it really well right now. And his belief, in terms of listening to a player convince me, hey, I should be excited about what the future holds for this team. He would be the number one player to listen to, and his words carried more weight perhaps than others through the exit interviews, because you hear a lot in the exit interviews. Also, Taj Gibson might be back. That would be shocking. He's 41 years old. He said he wants to come back next year and play for a great organization. I was like, here, we would love to have you. Please, Taj Gibson, stick around.
That one of my main takeaways was, like, I think you bring Taj back. No matter who else, you bring that back, because there's a cultural reset that it feels like they're going through, and you need a player steward of that reset and what that looks like, and somebody to say, okay, this is how we're going to do things when we're at home. This is how we behave when we're on the road. These are the types of things we're going to do to get our bodies right and get our minds right for the road games, especially those, crazy 3 and 4 or 4 and 5s, back-to-backs, whatever it is, because you're going to get some of those in an NBA season. Hey, this is what it looks like. This is how we go about doing things. And so he can sort of show whoever's here, they're going to be young. Whoever's here, hey, this is the new Grizzlies way of doing things. Cedric Coward spoke about Taj Gibson, about working with him on playing dominoes and some of the things that he and Gibson had talked about off the court. And Gibson called Cedric Coward, said he reminded him of a young Jimmy Butler, which is incredibly high praise when you think about the career Jimmy Butler has had. I just feel like you need right now one of those, much the same way that you needed Jay Crowder and you needed Solomon Hill all those years ago. Now, if you hit, then we can think about, okay, is it time to move on from that? And maybe looking at if they, when self-evaluating, Kleiman talked about self-evaluating a couple of times during his interview. Maybe, when you look at self-evaluating what went wrong with this next gen era, maybe you let go of Crowder and Solomon Hill a touch too soon. Maybe they were good enough, Ja, Jaren, Dez, Dylan. They were good enough to go out there and handle the underdog component of it, being the feisty young team. But when the moment came, they weren't quite prepared for that. And maybe Crowder and Solomon Hill, had you held on to them a little bit longer, could have got that group a bit more mature and ready to be good. It's one thing to be the hunter, it's something else to be the hunted, dealing with those expectations. Maybe those who could have helped them, that group, deal with that. So
yes,
maybe you
I think that's a
Taj
great
for a minute.
point. And even as they were talking yesterday, a couple things from a unified standpoint, the players, and Kleiman spoke on this, like the players continuing to be bought in through a tough season emotionally and still trying to be competitive and still showing up, like that all is important, because you don't want loser habits to settle in, and you wanted, especially for the young guys on this team, to be able to take the steps forward and like learn how to be a pro. And I'm curious, and I would assume, and you don't always want to assume, but I would think that Taj Gibson helped play a role in that. Like just having his presence on this team, having someone like a Ty Jerome on this team helped. And so that would be a nice, not a safety net, but like an emotionally regulatory safety net for this team moving forward. All the players seem pretty bought in on the Coach Iisalo train, and I know that not everybody out there was completely sold on Coach Iisalo in his first year. I think it's unfair. I would give him an incomplete. I think it was Kleiman or Iisalo himself I think it was Iisalo himself who gave himself an incomplete on the season, which, that's the way it goes. He also took full responsibility. Everybody takes responsibility in a year like this. I love listening to that man talk. Like, I genuinely love listening to Coach Iisalo, like, wax poetic on the game of basketball. And I find him a fascinating basketball mind. The way he approaches the sport, kind of like the holistic nature of body, mind, spirit, coupled with gameplay and strategy. And every time he is in, not every time, but regularly in press conferences, he will say something that just makes me raise my eyebrows, or is something that I didn't know before. And he has said this a couple times throughout the season, but I think it got made a bigger deal yesterday just because it's exit interviews and there's more attention on it. But the whole idea of basketball being an invasion sport, were you familiar with the term invasion sport?
Isn't that football?
It's football, it's hockey, it's
I guess we throw
basketball,
soccer in there.
soccer, rugby. Essentially, invasion sport is, are you trying to get into enemy territory and score? Yeah. Like, that's what any of those are. But just, he discussed it from the standpoint of, like, the higher demands for all of these sports that you're seeing, and the higher scheduling and higher pace of game intensity required, and, like, the clear development that's coming from the place of pace. And even talking about the challenge of, like, maximizing winning and player health. And I do think, in terms of, and this is me just like recklessly speculating, but even before the season took the turn that it did, some of the focus on minutes and rotations. And I think there's a genuine attempt here, and not just by the Grizzlies, but by professional sports across the world, and not just here in America either, of trying to figure out like the perfect balance of how do we protect these players' bodies for longevity's sake in a game that has changed so much, in a game where the ground being covered, the sheer mass of space that they are running in, and the direction and the miles being put on the body and the legs, like how do you make that all work together? And I think they're trying really hard to figure out the right piece of that. I know we sit here in America and like even the Tibbs of it all, play everybody, run them to the ground, put your best players on the court as much as possible. I'll be curious what that looks like in a full season where you are trying to win again, hopefully next year, and trying to be competitive in the Western Conference. But the other thing that Coach Iisalo talked about was the Lindy effect. And he was like, the Lindy effect. And Lang Whitaker literally vocally goes, no, I don't. And he didn't Lang, but I immediately looked up what the Lindy effect was, and it's this idea that like the future life expectancy of ideas, technologies, books is proportional to their current age. So basically, like the longer something has survived, the longer it is to likely continue surviving, because longevity demonstrates like utility and something's ability to last. And so I think the assumption is basketball is built to last. It's been around for a long time. It's just how does it continue to evolve? I know it can get like really kind of almost high education where your eyes glaze over at times. But if you sit down and listen to it all, it is really interesting stuff.
Well, using the Lindy effect as the thesis or the catalyst for a conversation about this Grizzlies team and where to go and Coach Iisalo, I think that because this year was what it was, and it is his first year, the Lindy effect, the longer something exists, the more likely it is to continue to exist and to last. So he hadn't had a long enough time to truthfully implement with players who are going to be here, whatever this system is. And so there were moments of supreme frustration. There were moments where it was, oh, okay, that's really, really good stuff right there. And you can see how with a different quality of athlete out there, how some of these actions could work to be beneficial for the Grizzlies franchise and Grizzlies front office and him as a head coach. It just hasn't been around long enough. So maybe I might be reading way too deep into some of the things that he's saying, but maybe he is, hey, give me a little bit more time. Yeah, because it's only been a year, and I hadn't had the quality of player that I thought I was going to have.
Haven't had a center for the last 2 months.
Like that's it's any offense, anything that we do is going to look not great. It's not going to look its best when I'm trotting out a 6'2", 6'3" dude at center.
And they didn't have Zach at the beginning of the season either.
And so I would throw that in there as well.
And obviously Zach is such a critical piece. Like Kleiman was asked about Zach. This is the biggest compliment I can give someone. Matt Infield is the new Mike Sadie. Mike Sadie was always like the best question asker at any Memphis sports press conferences for the longest time. He just had a real craft of asking good questions. Matt Infield had some bangers in the question space yesterday, including the one on Zach Edey, just basically asking about, a 300-pound big man having 2 leg surgeries in a year and how much you can count on him being a pillar. And Kleiman gave the GM response to it all. I thought Iisalo gave a more interesting answer, but the question was more framed in the idea of like pace and intensity being pillars of the Iisalo system and how a 300-pound big man coming off of 2 leg surgeries plays into that. And he really pointed to just the idea of like having a team with an identity, just because your identity is pace and intensity, that can highlight the best in your individual players too. And with Zach, thinking about it more from like not him being a player who pressures full court necessarily, but the other 4 around him can do more of that because they have an elite rim protector and an elite rebounder in a center a la a Zach Edey. And the idea of like rebounding, impacting pace, and especially defensive rebounding on that count. I would assume that there will be a massive intention on making sure that there is size to back up Zach Edey this year, even having Jock Landale this past season, but just ensuring that there are options for if Edey misses some games. I would love for him to play all 82 next year, be that NBA Iron Man, but that is something to be seen. I think that's the most interesting basketball-related stuff. Kleiman was asked about the LeBron comments. He was asked, I think what was trying to be asked was something on the lease, which is not really his space to ask or to answer on anyway. But the specific question he was asked was, amid a new lease negotiation, there have been several NBA players with critical comments about Memphis. Has there been a reason the organization has not responded to any of those criticisms? Are there any thoughts about what has been said by players like LeBron James and Draymond Green? What are we looking at today?
Jessica, when I do that, don't acknowledge it.
I have to acknowledge it. It's in my peripherals. I actually do.
It's the chat. The chat wanted to know. They're calling it a Vegeta hat. And it's not just Vegeta. It's got Raditz and Nappa on it. You see the Saiyan Warriors on the front, but it's got all of the Z fighters. So I got Piccolo and Gohan. I got Tien. I've got Yamcha. I've got Krillin. I've got Goku right there. Who's the little one? I can't remember what the little guy is. The one who basically suicide bombs people. But like got him kamikaze style. I forget his name. But yeah.
I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with his work.
You're unfamiliar
but
with
I like
Dragon
the hat.
Ball Z? Yeah, it's a good hat.
It's a good hat-shirt combo today.
Oh, yeah,
Shout out to our national parks.
Yeah.
Where was I?
That's why you don't acknowledge it. Just keep talking.
But it pulls my attention. Oh, the LeBron question. Okay, so this was Kleiman's answer. He said, I will give you the unsatisfying answer first. And I appreciated him admitting it was the unsatisfying answer first. I've been asked that in the past, and I think you guys know that in my role, my focus is basketball. My lane is basketball, and what I'm focused on day to day is putting this group in the best possible position to win here in Memphis. We want to win here. We love being here. We take major pride in doing what we do to put the best possible product on the court here. Beyond that, I get it. I understand the sentiment when a player or influencer or whatever says, is somebody going to say something? What I can say is that we are in the middle of a lease negotiation, and I see the people who are involved in that space. The focus is on action. We could put out some hollow statement that doesn't mean anything, but that's not a good use of anyone's time, and it's not actually constructive at the end of the day. I have enough of a lens into this to see that people who are working with the city are focused on improving downtown and putting everything in a position where we are in the best possible spot in Memphis going forward. That is the goal. The goal is to win here, to do it at the highest level here, and to be leaders in putting the city in the best possible position. That is all everyone is focused on. Here's my takeaway from that. It's a great statement. And I think it would have gone a long way. Like, the idea of a hollow statement isn't good. Yeah, I agree. But like, even what he just said there, and maybe it's not him, but that's not a hollow statement. Those aren't hollow words, and I think they're helpful words. And I think we have to get to this point. I saw some people kind of like pontificating on the idea that if the Grizzlies had said something, it would imply that everything is hunky-dory, everything's copacetic, there's nothing to be fixed here in Memphis, and that's not true. Like, I struggle with this in my defense of Memphis, is understanding how to strike the balance of, hey, this city's pretty cool, and there's a lot of really awesome stuff going on here, and the perception, specifically of downtown Memphis, is not the reality of those of us who are living down here, existing down here every single day, but also, yeah, I would love for the hotels to be better when I have friends or family come into town. I would love for customer service at every place I walk into to be better. I'd love for there to not be potholes. I'd love for things to be cleaned up downtown. I'd love for safety to continue to be of peak importance for the downtown community. But like, all of that can be true, and you can still come to defense of it. I don't know. That's something that I personally have had a trouble with. But when I was listening to that statement from Zach yesterday, I was like, this was a good statement. Like, this is the kind of thing that I think would have helped quell some of the anxieties of people in the city who, when those conversations like the LeBron one pop off, there's just a general sense of anxiety. Like, people just want some semblance of security that, hey, the Grizzlies are here. What he just said, we want to win here. We love being here. We take a major pride in doing what we do to put the best possible product on the court here. So hopefully people heard it yesterday and were given some level of comfort in that. And then also just the idea of, like, he's seen through the lens that there are people working every day to focus on improving downtown. So that's a good thing. Anything else from you, CJ?
On
anything from
Dragon Ball
exit
Z
interviews? On Dragon Ball Z's, on Parks, on life.
We know
love,
that.
the pursuit of happiness.
Goku, we're talking about in the chat. Goku might be Gohan's biological father, but Piccolo is the father that stepped up. So shout out to Piccolo and shout out to all the fathers out there.
Absolutely.
Stepping up. Even though they're like stepfathers and support men. Like, that's Piccolo, great example. Great example of
He's
father.
not the stepdad. He's the dad who stepped up. That's good.
Although he's not the stepdad, because he and Chi-Chi did not have a little thing going on. Piccolo's character arc, also an incredible character arc. I only know him as Piccolo. I missed the King Piccolo saga in Dragon Ball. That's why I'm watching Dragon Ball to catch up. We can talk about TV Tuesday, but I'm catching up on Dragon Ball. I can't wait to get to the King Piccolo saga. I don't have to tell you this, Jessica.
No,
because you know,
I'm a big fan.
Piccolo and Kami were one. They end up splitting, with Piccolo being the King. Piccolo was evil.
Yes.
He splits off, and Kami comes, and Kami's good, and then regular Piccolo is evil until Raditz shows up. And then when Raditz shows up, all hell breaks loose, and the Z Fighters have to come together to save the world. Everybody knows that.
Everybody.
The Saiyan saga, incredible.
You know it, I know it, he knows it.
And you know that the Frieza
It's just
saga.
important to reiterate.
I'm sure the Frieza saga is your favorite saga.
Yeah, but like, if you get me started on the Frieza saga, I could
won't
go
do
all
it.
day.
I
So
won't do
instead,
it.
we're
I
going
won't
to take
do
a
it.
quick break. We're going to come back. We'll talk about the WNBA Draft. Paige Beckers and Azzi Fudd reunited on the basketball court. They're already united in life. We got to talk about the thing that nobody was brave enough to talk about last night, and it was weird. Also, Memphis football had a special visitor at practice yesterday. You hear who came?
Sell.
I will tell you who came, and Mike Wallace will join us. He's going to join us in the 9 o'clock window today. Normally, he's in the next segment, so hold tight. We'll get back to Grizzly stuff with Mike. He was at exit interviews yesterday as well. That's all after a quick break.
You like which version of Majin Buu do you like? You like Boo Baby or do you like the regular Majin Buu?
The Boo Baby.
Boo Baby.
Yeah.
Get ready, Grizzlies fans. It is time for the Surfside Can Shuffle. Can you keep up with the cans and find Mac the Crab?
Of history, going back to where it all started. B2K is back. The Millennium Tour presents the Boys for Life Tour. Still, I ain't impressed because ain't none of them at all. Boys for Life. Also starring Pretty Ricky, B5, Young Jock, Crime Mob, A. Marie, and Franchise Boys. April 26th, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Presented by the Black Promoters Collective.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get one entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus one free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball team, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shai Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. Before we get into the WNBA draft that was last night, Jimbo Fisher was at Memphis football practice yesterday, CJ. Old Jimbo.
Jimbo?
Charles Huff said he called him. He was sitting at his farm with $75 million, and Charles Huff said, "Man, you miss ball?" And he said, "Some days." And then he came on down to Memphis, Tennessee.
And just hung out?
And just hung out at Memphis football
That's
practice.
dope.
Yeah. I was like, what? Why is Jimbo Fisher
is Huff from
spending his free time?
That tree?
I don't think so.
Right, like that's...
Yeah, Huff's a Saban guy.
Well, Jimbo was a Saban guy.
I mean, technically,
so they're,
yes.
Yeah, so they're distant
So they're
relatives.
like-
So
yeah.
they're all of the Saban
They're
tree.
cousins removed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we're doing like same year coaching staff, they're brothers, and then the further you get removed from that year, y'all are like cousins?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Got you.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out Jimbo Fisher.
Good. Shout out Jimbo. Shout out Huff.
What a buyout that man had.
Putting you on the spot. Spring game. Has it happened already?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so, right, Jacob?
When is it?
Because I saw they're doing something different. I think it's this
Saturday.
weekend.
It's Saturday, according to Jacob.
I don't think
Jacob
they're
says
doing.
he thinks it's
they're
Saturday.
not doing a spring game.
Most of these schools aren't, but it's
yeah.
Yeah.
So fans can come to an open practice.
Got you.
And I would
at
assume
Simmons
there'll be
Bank?
food. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But it can't be in Simmons Bank.
Why can't it be?
Can it?
Yeah, it's in Simmons
cool.
Bank. Why
I
can't
didn't
it
know
be?
if the construction was still going on.
Yeah, it's still going.
Free parking, free tickets.
The construction was going on all season last year, and people were inside.
Mighty Sound of the South, DJ Mike T.
Oh, shout out Mike T.
Lotto open at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Concessions, a barbecue contest.
What time?
11 a.m.
11? Might grab the niece and nephew and we head over to the football.
You should.
I'm trying to think. I got
I won't be
other
here.
stuff to do. I can't remember.
Oh, Jacob, don't rain on the parade.
Even better. The nephew
Go to spring football practice
The
in the
nephew
rain?
loves
Let's
complaining
go.
about doing stuff in the rain.
Did you watch the WNBA draft last night?
Watch? Yes, I did.
I did too.
Yes, I did.
It snuck up on me.
What do you mean it snuck up?
One, like time-wise, from a date time-wise, and two, like time-wise. It started at 6. Put that thing at 7 o'clock, like all the rest of the drafts. Unless you're gonna move all the others. Yes. I wasn't done with my workout. I wasn't ready to sit down. I had to have it on in the background. It was like it really snuck up on me.
Move everything else. Everything starts too damn
I
late.
have two draft qualms. The time it
not.
started. I hear you. I know, I hear you. But from a respect standpoint.
No, you don't.
I also hate the way that they do the draft. I hate that they have the people, like the analysts talking, and it plays over the speaker in that room. So the people who are in the room are hearing it. And even when they were doing their interviews after getting drafted, the first couple of women said, wow, this is weird. Like they're hearing the echo of themselves giving the interview in the room. I don't like it. Put some music on.
That is a good one.
Put some music on. Treat it like a party. Treat it like a draft show. I don't know. It's just weird. It weirds me out. Thank you. I know. But we can differ on the time.
No, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. If anything, move it up. Put it at 4. Let's go.
Just put it in the afternoon.
Please. Afternoon draft? Are you kidding me? I don't know why we act like this. Like we don't enjoy having sporting events on when we're supposed to be working. It takes away the monotony of the day. Like we love that type stuff.
I don't disagree, but you also want like the prime time.
That's not prime time anymore. There is no prime time. If it's a good enough product, we're going to sit down and watch it. Come on, man.
Azzi Fudd went number 1 to the Dallas Wings, and we're just not going to talk about it.
We're not?
We're just not going to talk about it.
Oh.
The thing.
What
like
thing?
Everybody and their mother knows that Azzi Fudd and Paige Beckers are a couple. And they won't talk about it on the draft broadcast, a part of the draft process. Like these two have been friends for over a decade. They played together at UConn. Last summer, Paige finally confirmed it. This isn't speculation. Like Paige was on one of those TikTok videos last summer where they ask, like, how well do you know your D1 girlfriend? And she talked about Azzi Fudd. So everyone's like, oh, there we go. Bada boom, bada bing. They are a couple. Now, they're very low key. Like they're not in your face, but they're coy. And we know. So why aren't we talking about the fact that the Dallas Wings just drafted a player because she is the girlfriend of its franchise player? Azzi Fudd, tremendous player, one of the best three-point prospects that we've had. She's a winner. She won a national championship at UConn. She's great. But there was no clear-cut number 1 pick in this year's draft, and we don't have to fool ourselves. The Dallas Wings took Azzi Fudd with the number 1 pick because she is in a relationship with Paige Beckers.
You think that's why they took her?
Yes!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Respectfully.
Okay.
And I love it. I love.
I mean, she most outstanding player of the tournament 2
years ago. Like I said, fantastic basketball player.
I'm pretty sure she shot over 40%
Sure
from
did.
3 this year.
Sure did.
One of the more dynamic scorers in college basketball.
And on some big boards, she was number 1. Yeah. On others, it was Olivia Miles. On others, it was Lauren Betts. On others, it was...
I didn't see any with Betts number 1. I saw some with
one. With the woman from Spain,
Alwa
Fam, who ended up with the Sonics.
Yeah. The Sonics?
No, not the Sonics.
The Storm?
The Storm.
There we go. That's okay.
Seattle Basketball Center.
It's coming back, baby. It's coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out Sonia Rahman.
Yeah.
She was on broadcast last night. I saw her in there. We'll get into it because the Storm got another player in a very bizarro place, but I don't want to jump past the Azzi Fudd of it all because she is the number 1 pick. And it is pretty damn legendary to be a part of a couple where you went back-to-back years of being the number 1 picks in the WNBA draft.
Yeah, man, that's
Sing it from the rooftops.
Yeah, that's incredible stuff right there. And they're both really, really good at basketball.
Really
That's
good.
what matters the most.
Yeah, this isn't like a LeBron James Bronny situation, as I saw somebody try to make that comparison last night. No, get out of here with that. That's stupid.
Not at all. Not at all.
But if you had 2 players who you were let's just, for the sake of an argument, the Wings are sitting there. They're like, we really like Olivia Miles and we really like Azzi Fudd. Which one can be elevated to the place where we feel like we have to take her with the number 1 pick? Oh, one of them is in a relationship with our star player, our franchise player, and maybe that will make her happy. And maybe they could, and we've seen them play together and it works, even though Azzi was hurt a lot of that time at UConn. But she came back. It worked. They won a championship. I think we should take Azzi Fudd.
Yeah, like that's a tiebreaker. If you've got Olivia Miles and what she does, and we talked about it some on the show yesterday, I think that if it was me, I would have went with Miles, just because I got a dynamic scoring option in Wale, and Paige is a bucket getter as well. Paige is a great facilitator also, not to limit anybody's game. So Olivia Miles is that, or Fudd, who is another dynamic scoring option, a really good shooter. I'd go with the point guard who could play defense and keep everything organized. That's where I would have went. But if you got them tied, and there's like, if you got them tied, you got them tied. I'm not going to argue with you about who's better. You'll get no qualms from me about Paige being better than Miles or Miles being better than not Paige.
You mean
than
Azzi?
Fudd.
See, you're already combining the two of them. This is what happens.
But if they're tied, then you say, okay, what's the tiebreaker? Oh, she's booed up with her. They'll both be happy, and they were teammates, and we saw it work. Sure, let's go ahead and do it.
And in the words of Holly Rowe, comfortable playing together.
Who? Very comfortable playing.
I was like, just say it.
Very comfortable. Holly Rowe, big time winner last night.
She worked hard.
Every time Holly Rowe pops on the screen, it's like, okay, I know this woman right here is incredible at what she does. At one point, I'm zoned out, just a tad. I'm on the phone doing something, and I hear a foreign language being spoken. I'm like, wait, who in the hell is speaking this? And look up, and it's Holly. Holly's asking the French player French questions in French. I was like, what the holy hell, Holly? What can't you do?
Pretty sure she went around to like or a lot of players before the draft started and specifically asked them, like, hey, when you get drafted, at least the ones who were assumed to go early, what do you want to talk about? Because I think it wasn't Azzi. It was someone early on. Who was it? Where she was like, when we talked beforehand and I asked you what you wanted to focus on, you wanted to focus on adversity. And I feel like she took notes from the past where sometimes like these drafts years ago, suddenly the criticism came around for them being like trauma dumps for some of these players. Like, hey, this was the worst time of your life and now you've been drafted. How does it make you feel? And I think she's really grown. Like that wasn't a Holly specific thing, but Holly took a lot of flack. There was one WNBA draft year where there were like a couple examples that people really harped on, but that's an all draft thing. We've seen it at the NFL draft, the NBA draft, wherever you want to go with it. And I genuinely, last night, I was like, she worked her ass off to have the right questions and the right tone and to make sure that the players were able to talk about the things that they cared about and you could see it through their answers. Anyway, I thought it was very good.
Hollywood
deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah. Back to the players. Player piece of it.
It is an awful lot of faith to put in a college sweethearts relationship. And I'm with my college sweetheart. I wouldn't call him my college sweetheart, but like we met in college.
Yeah, that's not a college sweetheart.
He's like,
that's not a college sweetheart. What
We didn't
was
go
your
to the same
classification? What was your classification?
What do you mean?
When y'all met? Y'all,
I was a junior. He was a senior.
Oh yeah, no.
But we weren't dating until I was
not a college sweetheart.
Summer going into senior.
Not a college sweetheart. Y'all are sweethearts.
We're Olympic sweethearts. Sorry. My bad.
I'm Jessica Benson. Wait, hold on. I got a button for this. I used to have a button for this.
Flex,
here it is.
flex.
There it is.
I missed that button.
There we go.
Azzi's making money. That, thanks to the new CBA.
Incredible stuff.
Good
stuff.
Rookie contract. She is projected to make $500,000 this year. And just in comparison, Paige made $78,000 last year and Caitlin Clark made $76,000 $100,000. So new CBA in effect puts Azzi Fudd in place to make $500,000 in 2026, and that will grow to $520 in 2027, $572 in 2028, and a team option of $646 in 2029. So that was cool to see. It was cool from like a draftee standpoint that these women will make more money and have more opportunity than any draft class before them. They put that in like the opening when they were setting it all up, and it really struck me how true that is and how cool that is for like the youngest players in this league now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's what the fight was about, and it's good to see that the players and the league came to an understanding and an agreement, and it's going to lend itself to these women being paid closer to what they're worth now. Anytime we get workers getting paid what they're worth, I'm all for it. And the W would be nothing if not for the sacrifices and the game and the talent of the women playing in the W, and the women who played in the W in the past, and the women who are coming up to play in the W in the near and distant future. So I'm glad to see that the pay is beginning to get closer to what they're worth, and I'm looking forward to see what the season has in store. Really, looking forward to see. All right, which one of these is going to stick on a roster?
Yes.
Right, like just because you get drafted doesn't mean in this league you're guaranteed to make it through a season or 2 seasons, God forbid 3 seasons. Like, this is a tough league to stay in. So I look forward to seeing when it's all said and done who's on rosters, and then we can talk about, okay, what are they going to contribute to the roster? Big news for UCLA. They were another big-time winner last night.
6 players drafted.
5 in the first round.
Which I was really happy that all 6 got taken, like all 6 of those seniors, because we talked about it when they won the championship. The 6 players who were responsible for scoring all the points in those last 2 games at this year's Final Four. I would have hated for one of them not to have been. I'd been like,
but I don't think
this is the start of her emotionally distraught origin story. But it was cool because they all went.
Yeah, I thought we knew they were all going to go.
And especially
we didn't know they were all going to go in the first round.
Well, 5 of the 6 in the first round.
5 of the 6 in the first round. We knew they were all going to go.
It was cool seeing Jaime Jaquez FaceTime in because the Heat have their playing game tonight. And so he couldn't be there for his sister, Gabriela Jaquez, who went number 5 to the Chicago Sky. The 3 in a row of Betts, Jaquez, and Kiki Rice was like, holy hell, this is a run. Like, Corey Close is there, just proud mom. I'm again watching her saying, can you just be my life coach? Like, you just seem like you have a really good energy. It was weird to watch, for me, UCLA supremacy reign. Like, that's not fun for me.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But it's not like you've ever seen it before. Like, they just got
it's true. It's fresh.
And there's no guarantee they do this again. I think they got some top transfers coming through the portal. But again, there's no guarantee that they is certainly not like this. You think about our basketball had a pretty good year this year, but it wasn't near as good as when Caitlin was there. So you get these once in a generation type runs from some of these programs, and they kind of adjust back to the mean slowly over time.
Caitlin Clark's new teammate's Raven Johnson. Just 2 new teammates. But they took Raven Johnson with the number 10 pick, which was a bit of a surprise, I'd say, just because I think there was an expectation they might take some size there. And instead they took Raven Johnson, who is a great defensive upside prospect and now, first-round draft pick. It is interesting because once upon a time, Caitlin Clark waved off Raven Johnson in the first quarter of the Final Four and didn't guard her at the three-point line, which strategically made sense at the time because Raven Johnson was a 24% three-point shooter. But it was one of those moments that became bigger than the moment itself because Caitlin Clark was involved, and it was at the peak of Caitlin Clark Iowa mania, and it was embarrassing for Raven Johnson. And Raven has talked about it in the past where that was the moment that made her hate the internet. And from a bullying standpoint and some of the things that were said about her, it was really tough and she just wanted to go into isolation. And I would imagine it wasn't very fun to have to go back in time and have that thrown in her face over and over again on one of the biggest nights of her career and such an exciting night in the WNBA draft. But I look forward to them working together now in the future. And it does give an interesting little push into the season.
I did not know that piece of it. And I had to double check. I just looked and double checked. I felt like she was 40% from 3 this year in college.
Yeah.
Raven Johnson.
She went back to college. She's one of those players who went back to college, worked really hard, and improved. And she's always been a good defender. So
So if she can shoot near that, I think she's 39.8%. So round up and say 40%. If she's near that in the W coupled with her defensive ability, yeah, that's somebody there who you can see contributing to winning for a WNBA roster. I saw that pick, was like, oh, that's a good pick. That team, while they did well without Caitlin Clark, they got to the second round of the playoffs, for crying out loud. With Caitlin Clark being so ball dominant, you got to have people who can exist and make contributions, major contributions, without touching the ball. And I think Raven Johnson can do that, both from a defensive standpoint and from a rebounding standpoint. She's just a smart basketball player as well. And then can you knock down the open shot? You're not going to get a whole lot of them. Caitlin Clark's running this thing. Caitlin Clark's going to be the facilitator, but when your moment comes, can you meet that moment? I think Raven Johnson can.
The weirdest thing to happen last night was the Flau'jae Johnson situation.
What was weird about that?
Everything.
Okay.
So the Valkyries took her with the 8th pick, and in our household, we are a split. We are a household divided of the Seattle Storm Sonics, as I refer, the double S's, and the Bay Area with the Valkyries. But we did embrace the Valkyries as a WNBA team of our household because I also like their colors, and they had a phenomenal inaugural season. So the Valkyries take Flau'jae. She does the whole, interview with Holly. Her little brother comes up. It's adorable. Talk about like a ham and somebody who wanted to like be a little star, and then he got up there and he did the little kid thing where suddenly a camera's in his face and he put the hat over his face. It was really cute. Anyway, so that whole thing happens. A little bit later on, we find out that the Valkyries traded Johnson to the Seattle Storm, and this is why it makes no sense, because they traded her for Marta Suarez, who was the 16th pick in this year's draft, and the 2028 second round pick. And if you're like, why would you trade the 8th pick in this year's draft for number 16 and a second round pick next year? You're right. That makes no sense. And then when you got the explanations, especially from the Valkyries GM, it made even less sense, because originally she was like, when I'm ready to speak more about what the strategy is behind it, I'll speak on it. I don't really speak about my strategy publicly because other teams are watching. Like, the draft is over at this point. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. She was asked if it had to do with salary cap. She said, I don't really talk or comment about salary cap. And then she said, I don't have a lot of details to share because I'm exhausted. 2, because I want to be very thoughtful when I'm talking about the humans and their basketball abilities and how they would or would not show up for our squad. And like, I appreciate the intent there, but you are the GM of the team, and she's been a really good GM, like really smart, really savvy. And so it was just such an odd miss in not being able to explain why you were doing that. And then later it came out that they had agreed to this trade before Flau'jae Johnson was even drafted, which adds context, like important context. But still, it was really weird. That's not weird to you?
Yes, but I think just reckless, real reckless right now. I think sometimes deals get made that they can't say, hey, we made this deal a while ago. So like, but because of like rules, right? Like you can't go reckless. Yeah. You can't go and say, hey, so we asked the Seattle Storm to make this player available to us. They weren't going to make him available in the expansion draft. We asked them to, and they did, and we told them we get him back, right? Like you can't come out and say things like that because that's against the rules. And I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I feel like there was some gamesmanship where, hey, it's not cheating. It's not cheating if we don't get caught. And let's not get caught.
And now we're being asked about it, and we didn't have a good enough
because it doesn't make sense.
Because it doesn't make sense.
And we didn't know we'd be getting this type of pushback from people, not realizing the type of collegiate star that Johnson was, and people were going to be interested and excited about wherever she went.
Because she's such a personality too, like the music career, the fashion career, like everything going on there. Yeah, it was odd. Anyway, I like the beginning of the Storm rebuild for Sonia Rahman. I'm excited to follow this Storm team. It was an odd situation. Any other picks that particularly tickled you?
I think, and I meant to look this up, so forgive me. I don't have the number, but it felt like every other pick was either UCLA or a Spaniard.
Or international.
Like, no, Spain in particular. Yes, international, but Spain in particular. It felt like Spain women's basketball was having a bit of a moment last night on the world stage, which was cool to see the game continue to grow internationally.
It reminded me of the French side for the men.
Yeah, and maybe one day one of these other nations in Europe or Africa or Asia, wherever, maybe Australia, I don't know, can challenge our women. Because it's fun as hell beating the hell out of you guys internationally, but we would like it to be challenging. We would. So maybe Spain can be that foil. They were that foil once upon a time for the Redeem team. So, make them the foil again. Maybe they've got enough talent over there to, I don't know, keep the game within 30.
Just within 30.
Within 30. You know, we sending Paige and them over there. We're going to send Angel Reese and them over there. We're going to send Caitlin Clark and them over there, and they're going to be out there beating these people by 50. So just keep it within 30, Spain, please. We really like that over here in America.
Just
the greatest basketball playing nation of all.
Competitive-ish. The only other thing that really came out of it was Cathy Engelbert had a very bizarre answer. We don't have to show the whole clip, but just fumbled a very simple question of, how long do you intend to be commissioner? And a valid question coming out of all of the drama leading up to the CBA, and a question that, any commissioner of any professional sports league would get. And Cathy turned it into a, would you be asking me this question if I was a man?
Let's go, Cathy.
And I was like, come on.
Do it.
There is so much legitimate sexism in this world. I cannot stand when it gets thrown around inappropriately. Because, yes, and the reporter, you talk about reporters who don't have the mic still in their hand, but who just scream out. The reporter was like, yes, I would. I was like, damn straight. Damn straight you would. It was weird. Anyway, the WNBA season starts in 3 weeks. Training camp is this weekend. Let's go. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Mike Wallace will join us. He was at Grizzlies exit interviews yesterday. We'll ask him what stood out after a quick break.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
25 years of history, going back to where it all started. B2K is back. The Millennium Tour presents the Boys for Life Tour. Bow Wow.
I ain't impressed because ain't none of them at all.
Boys for Life. Also starring Pretty Ricky, B5, Young Jock, Crime Mob, A. Marie, and Franchise Boys. April 26th, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Presented by the Black Promoters Collective.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get 1 entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus 1 free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball team, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shai Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The
Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
$191 Collabs, presented by Pinnacle Financial Partners, is coming back for the 2026-2027 season, and the Grizzlies are looking for the next lineup of Memphis creators to design limited edition Grizz garments in their signature style. Take your vision from the drawing board to the team store. Apply today to see Grizz Nation rock your designs next season at grizzlies.com/191 Collabs. We welcome you back.
We talked about it some going like in the break. The other thing that stood out to me was, like I said, the people who get drafted or used to get drafted when I was younger looked like superheroes, like deities to me. And now they all look like children. They all look like babies. So all those young women are standing up there and the fits were nice. Yes. They were really, really good. Not sure what Olivia Miles is doing, but everybody else was outstanding.
Okay, no, I think that's so unfair to Olivia Miles. She has a unique style in a world where
unique styles, I don't understand what unique styles are doing.
Everyone else is like pretty traditional glam bot. I'm on a red carpet, I'm going to an awards show vision, like I'm gonna wear a really nice dress. Olivia Miles was like unapologetically herself in like a very cool way. She's unique. She looks totally different than anybody else.
All I'm saying, a little odd.
You see, I love how they had the baby pictures behind them.
Yeah,
or like not the baby pictures, but the pictures when they were younger playing, and she looks literally like a mini version of herself with the glasses, and I was like, this is tremendous.
Yeah. But yeah, like they just like, oh, look at the little babies. Like it looks like a bunch of 8th graders going to their first 8th grade dance. And it's been that way for me. I think the moment that's the RJ Barrett draft where he was up there crying into his dad's arm and everything was like, oh, this is a man child. This is a baby. And Zion was drafted then. It's like, oh, he is a monster of a child. He looks like a baby. And then throw Ja in there before all the dreads and everything. Yeah. All them dudes look like babies now. And all these dudettes look like babies when they get drafted. Yeah. Even Fudd, right? It's like, oh, look at that baby face she has. She still has her little girl face. Yes, that was a really pretty dress.
Women drafts because all the Chris was like, okay, Jess, I get it. You like all their outfits. Because I'd be like, oh, I love her dress. Oh, I love her dress.
And they've got, like, with the Fudd dress,
yeah,
like she has the shoulders and arms to pull that off. Yes. Like, oh, wow. That is impressive right there.
Is Mike here?
I'm assuming Jacob would tell us when he's here.
I didn't know. Oh, no. Okay. He's logging on. So we'll get to Mike Wallace in just a jiffy. But yes, I thought all of the outfits were nice. Even, I know I just like kind of said Cathy Engelbert messed up a question, which she did, but I liked her dress. It was green, it was sparkly, it was pretty. Everybody looked their best for the WNBA draft occasion. And again, like it's absolutely nutso that the national championship game was last week and the expansion draft was the same day as the semifinal games, and now we're into the WNBA draft, and now these UCLA players, like the 6 UCLA players who just won a championship, can barely take in the fact that they won a championship because now they've all been drafted and have to go and start training camp and start their WNBA journeys. But that is the life of a WNBA player. We do have NBA play-in action coming up tonight. Heat Hornets on the side of the Eastern Conference play-in game in the 9-10 game, and then Trailblazers Suns in the 7-8 game on the Western Conference side. Wednesday will be Warriors Clippers, so you get the 9-10 game on the west side tomorrow, and then the 7-8 game between the Magic and the Sixers on the Eastern Conference side tomorrow as well. Everything is on Amazon Prime. So if you're looking for the play-in game, it's on Amazon Prime.
Do they start at 6? The Lord's time?
6:30. No. 6 and 9.
No. No. Who's the 9 o'clock?
Move the Grizzlies to the East. This is just further proof. Because all the 9 o'clock are the Western Conference ones. Tonight and tomorrow's 9 o'clock.
No.
It's nasty behavior.
No. God, no.
How will our surging Hornets do against the Miami Heat? My picks tonight are the Hornets and the Suns.
Okay. I didn't know we were claiming the Hornets.
I mean, I'm not claiming them. We put people on notice that they were surging, and then surge they did.
But we're claiming the Clippers. They're our Clippers.
I know. It's a bit that I'm not fully committed to.
Oh,
but if you're not committed to the bit, what's the point of the bit?
To it. Somebody send us some Clippers gear in Jerry West's old office.
I can't do it. All right, Mike Wallace joins us now. It is a Tuesday. It's time to catch up with Mike. Mike, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm good, man. Sorry about the little bit of a delay, but appreciate it, man. How you guys doing?
We are good, and I know you are good because we get a bit of a break. The Memphis Grizzlies season has come to an end. I would assume you have to write something coming out of exit interviews yesterday, and without blowing... Oh, no, we're good?
I'm turning the page, man. This season couldn't end fast enough for me. You know what I mean?
We all?
Otherwise, what else is there to say? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to giving this season a little bit of a break. Turning the page from it and, looking forward to the content we have coming as we preview this draft. All of us are going to be involved in it, previewing the lottery, looking forward to Chicago, seeing where the ping pong balls fall, looking forward to the play-in tonight and tomorrow and this week to see, if the Grizzlies are going to maximize what happens with Phoenix and Orlando with that secondary lottery pick, and then, turning the page from that. So that'll be the next layer of content. There's absolutely zero I have to say about the 25-26 iteration of what this season was, man. The sooner I can flush that, the better.
I love when Mike Wallace breaks news about me having to do more work. Thanks, Mike. I didn't know we were all going to be involved. I thought you guys were going to handle
Congratulations. You're a part of the ride. Okay, so in that regard, Mike, then I will use it to frame the following question. With the attention on what's next and not what was, what is the most important thing that you heard yesterday at Grizzlies exit interviews?
That's a tough question. That's a great question. I would say the most definitive thing that I heard, because there wasn't a lot of definitive information coming out of that, right? It really wasn't. And I think part of it was intentional, and I think part of it was just, part and parcel to, how the organization communicates now and chooses to communicate. It's intentionally leaving a lot to be desired when it comes to that. But having said that, God bless you.
Thank you.
Having said that, the most definitive thing I heard was Zach Kleiman address the fact that he wants to build a winner in Memphis, and he wants to do this, with the Grizzlies in Memphis. And he wants, obviously there are a lot of people involved in the lease negotiations and what happens in the future with the FedEx Forum and the Memphis Grizzlies and the city of Memphis. But all indications are these sides are working together to build the best infrastructure downtown, in and around Memphis, to support the NBA franchise that is the Memphis Grizzlies to be here and productive and winning moving forward. And I think that was the most definitive message that he had from that standpoint. Everything else was sort of, it was kind of, hit and miss. They are confident that they can rebuild on the fly and build a winner that won't take 3, 4, 5 years to do. It's going to be difficult in the West, but at the end of the day, you have to be encouraged about that. And I think that was the most definitive takeaway immediately coming out of yesterday.
So I agree with you. And I thought it was interesting the way that whole answer came to and included in it was like expressing why an answer like that or a statement like that wasn't provided when LeBron's comments were made, or just like the general conversation that popped off in the last few weeks about the status of the Grizzlies in Memphis, the idea of, is Nashville even why is LeBron talking about the Grizzlies moving to Nashville on a golf course? And Zach brought up, like, he's about the basketball, right? Like, that's his job. He's focused on basketball. He's focused on building the team, and also talked about the idea that, like, a hollow statement doesn't go anywhere. But I thought yesterday's statement was, like, the antithesis of hollow and was a perfect example of, like, that's an easy win. Like, saying that originally is really good, and I think meaningful, and doesn't, like, take away from the city still needing to make upgrades and still needing to figure out how to better itself, and that's a consistent, like, part of this process. But by saying all of that, you're not giving the city a pass either. Like, you can be pro, this team is, wants to be in Memphis. We want to win here. We want to build a team that wins here. And that goes a long way with the people, because people are stressed. Like, I don't have a better way to put it. Like, people are a little stressed. And so I think comments like yesterday's go a long way. And I'm glad that they were said yesterday. I think they would have been equally resonant had they come, a week and a half ago too.
I totally agree with you. And to me, again, that has to be part of the understanding of where you are in market, understanding of where your fan base is, understanding that, yes, LeBron James made an irrational comment. It was LeBron James's opinion. He has no sway in votes to move Memphis anywhere. Like the Grizzlies aren't going anywhere because LeBron James said anything. So part of us has to realize, all right, dude, let's not overreact to everything that everybody says.
Right.
Okay. Because the truth of the matter is there are people who are within the Grizzlies who feel like there's some issues with the city that, hey, there's some things that have to be addressed. Simple as that. So like, it's one thing, and I get it. When Stephen A said it, when Draymond Green said it, when all of these other players said it, hell, Donnie McClurkin, a gospel singer, performed in Memphis a year and a half ago, and had some items removed from his hotel room at the Westin as well, right? And complained about it. So, but that doesn't mean that we got to duck and cover and then get mad when everybody says something about Memphis. I mean, there's some problems, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that there's some anxiety going on with your fan base. There's some distrust. There's some disconnect. And it's visible, it's palpable, and you have to be able to understand that and go out there and meet that. That's part of public relations. That's part of, what the business brand of it is. And you're right, it would have been helpful to come out 2, 3, 4 weeks ago to say that. But I think the Grizzlies have done a good job of saying, hey, man, we want to be here. We want this to work out. And, this is what we've always worked for. So I think some of it is, hey, we've said it before, but no, you got to keep saying it, especially when the season unfolds the way it's unfolded. And you got to continue to reassure with your fan base and your community that, hey, we're locked in, we're committed. And I think that was a step yesterday towards doing that.
From the player standpoint, you don't hear a lot in exit interviews that ultimately matters. It's a lot of words. And especially coming off of a season like the one that we just had. Yeah. But I thought Cedric Coward was really effective in communicating his message, in presenting himself as, hey, I can be a future spokesperson. I'm already a spokesperson for this team coming out of my rookie year. It reminded me a lot of the kind of player that Jaren Jackson Jr. turned into, not from a player standpoint, but just from the reliability of this guy can talk and he can talk well. And you couple that with him putting together a season that certainly, you can convince yourself that if he had played more minutes for this team, could have had a shot at being first team all rookie. He likely will be second team all rookie when all is said and done. So he'll get some end of season honors. But between Cedric Coward, Gigi Jackson's comments, I thought just in terms of feeling in a comfortable place with the organization, was there anything that stood out to you on the player front?
You wanted to hear from the young guys that they weren't discouraged, and you wanted to hear that the culture potentially could still be there as they build moving forward. And you did hear a lot of that. I thought the biggest validation for where this team is came from Taj Gibson as a veteran voice at 40 years old, having been the last 3 years. I thought he laid it out articulated it very well. 2 years ago, he was on that Detroit Pistons roster that went through a horrible season. And they began the rebuild process around Cunningham and Duren and those guys. And they went through the hard part the year when, Taj Gibson was there. Last year, he went to Charlotte, went through a hard part, with some maturity issues with the Hornets and, LaMelo Ball and all of those things. And then he saw, okay, Charles Lee was coming in as a first-year coach trying to help that team turn a corner. And now for a third straight year, he's come to a team in a very, very difficult spot, being the Memphis Grizzlies. So his ability to sort of articulate how I've been there when we've been at rock bottom, and I've seen how organizations put the pieces together. He talked about the infrastructure of Coach Tuomas Iisalo and Zach Kleiman and what they're doing behind the scenes, the preparation of the coaching staff, the iPads that the players get every single day to know what's coming up for them. He laid out sort of the bones and the skeletons of what is going to be something that can be put back together again in short order, because he saw Detroit do it. He now seen Charlotte do it. And so the Grizzlies have some of those same components. And I think his comparison, man, it jumped out to me. He said he sees a lot of a young Jimmy Butler in, Cedric Coward in terms of the work ethic and the versatility and, the heart and the desire. He sees a lot of a young Kirk Heinrich in Cam Spencer, in terms of a dogged guy on both sides of the floor that just will never quit. So those things were the seeds that I thought were the most importantly planted from the players yesterday. And it came from the veteran voice who's seen and been through pretty much it all.
And if I'm remembering correctly, a few weeks ago, didn't Taj Gibson make a comparison between Tomas Iisalo and Charles Lee? Did you see that?
I believe so.
I think so. But just from
that tracks.
I really appreciate this is someone who, if he does come back, he will be 41 years old next year. He's experienced a lot of different teams and a lot of different environments and seen the process play out. And I know we get so into the process in sports, but that is important. If you can have someone who has had his own unique experience within the NBA and can make those comparisons from the player side to the coach's side, I think there's value in what Taj Gibson said. His words are weighted a little bit more because of the experience that he has had.
Yeah, no question about it. And he's been through the league. He's been around 16, 17 seasons. He's seen some teams rise. He's seen some teams fall. And he's been able to be a consummate professional. And you can see easily why. It was important to bring him in at a roster spot. You don't need production on the court from Taj Gibson. If you give a little bit of that, and when you're in an emergency situation, great. But he's also one of those guys that's going to make sure that what's going on from the front office to the coaching staff can translate to the players. Getting them to understand how to come and conduct themselves at practice every day. He's not trying to be a spokesman or anything. He's just saying, hey, man, if you guys come to me, I can help you with this. And they're going to help him as well, too. So I hope that he continues to have a role around here because I think, his voice and the way he goes about sharing his voice is invaluable. The Grizzlies have tried other veterans in that role, and it just didn't necessarily track. Derek wasn't necessarily a vocal guy, in those ways. Marcus Smart was maybe too vocal, but I think Taj gives you that sort of in-between veteran that can be a real leader in the locker room or potentially on the coaching staff or the front office with them.
We got Heat Hornets tonight and Suns Trailblazers. Which game are you more excited to watch?
Ooh, I want to see Suns Trailblazers because of the lottery implications as it relates to the Grizzlies. It won't be resolved because either team, if the Suns lose tonight, they still get a chance on Friday. But yeah, both games are going to be intriguing. I'm going to be locked into the play in both ways, both days.
Well, the real lock-in is Magic Sixers. And then for the same reason, because if the Suns lose, if the Magic lose, then they'll have a very, very important second play-in game as it pertains to how Grizzlies fans are ingesting the plan. Mike, thank you as always. We appreciate the time. We'll catch up with you later.
Anytime. Thank you, guys.
That was Mike Wallace. You can always find his latest at grindcitymedia.com. We'll take a quick break. We will come back. We will do some TV Tuesday, what we are watching. We'll get into the rest of our Tuesday when we come back.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
25 years of history, going back to where it all started. B2K is back. The Millennium Tour presents the Boys for Life Tour.
Still I ain't impressed cause ain't none of them at all.
Boys for Life. Also starring Pretty Ricky, B5, Young Jock, Crime Mob, A. Marie, and Franchise Boys. April 26th, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Presented by the Black Promoters Collective.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get 1 entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus 1 free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball team, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shai Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Welcome back. A little TV Tuesday before we get out of here and into the rest of our day. Are you watching anything great right now?
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Great.
What's the best thing you're watching?
We can start with what's the teacher show? Abbott Elementary. Abbott is great. And the thing, I'm trying to figure out what makes this season stand out to me and watching it, is that everybody's grown into their roles. And I love when we get that sort of character development, and then we can go on with another part of the story or another storyline. So Abbott starts in the first, 2 seasons. Janine is just annoying.
A little bit, yes.
Just way too bright, way too bubbly-eyed, way too hopeful, way too optimistic and positive, right? Like that just doesn't sit right with me. But she has leveled off some, and her relationship with Gregory continues to be one that's like, yes, about damn time. I enjoy where this is going. The past episode, though, it takes a bit of a twist. Don't want to give too much away, but I enjoy Ms. Howard. I enjoy Shamedi as well as Jacob, and the way Ava and how everybody, as they've matured and grown into what they are, continues to go on these wacky sort of adventures. As a teacher, there's always something. So as you get good and as you get better, there's always something coming your way, and it's still one of the funniest shows on TV.
Are you caught up with DTF St. Louis?
I finished DTF.
I have not finished the last episode, but in connection with Abbott Elementary, when that character pops up, the one who's on Abbott Elementary, white teacher, I was like,
yeah.
I have a lot of crossover happening right now. Like a character on Shrinking is a character on The Pit.
Okay.
The Pit finale is this week.
Ooh.
And there's so many theories. I love being part of a show that has a lot of fan theories right now, and it's real dark.
Has the water slide event happened?
Yeah, that ended up being nothing. We're like building the big thing hasn't happened.
Okay.
And it has to happen.
But this is the last hour of work.
I think I don't know.
Okay.
Everyone thinks it's going to take a dark turn.
Okay. Well, it's
like a suicidal turn.
It's The Pit. It is dark.
It's been a lot. It's been a really bad day. It's been a really bad day in The Pit. We're one episode behind on DTF St. Louis. We're, I think, one episode behind on Rooster, but we watched 2 episodes of Rooster last night.
On DTF St. Louis. We do love stories a bunch. We don't do love stories involving dudes.
Correct.
And we don't do it platonically.
Yeah.
So heated rivalry pops off, Brokeback Mountain pops off. Like, you'll get those every now and then, but just a platonic, hey, I love this dude right here. Part of the reason I'm still drawn to Scrubs is the love affair between JD and Turk. Yeah. But DTF St. Louis, the main takeaway that I have, and wait till you see the last episode, because it's like, oh no. But it is, hey, these 2 dudes will do anything for one another. And one of them is just a nice guy who will do anything to make somebody else's day brighter, right? Where it is, hey, let's talk about you. Well, here's what I got going on, but enough about that. Are you okay? Let me help you. I want to help you. And I've got friends in that are made like that. Not very many dudes. They're all women, but like it is, I'm talking about you right now, lady.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep talking about you. Don't worry about me. I'm not important in this moment. You are. And it's good to see that play out on a TV show where dudes are able to have that bromance in a really positive sort of way.
I have really enjoyed that specific element of the show. I'm still loving the comeback. Speaking of things we don't see often, just a totally damaged and deranged and not very likable like female character who is the lead, who you also somehow are rooting for, even though she's regularly making decisions where you are
Just
cringing on her
frustrating you.
behalf
Like, no,
and so
don't do
frustrated,
that.
and you're just like, you are so annoying. You cannot be a real person. But I thought the most recent episode is really clearly setting up what I hope to be Lisa Kudrow's Emmy moment, because I think she's going to have a full-blown nervous breakdown. Like, she's holding everyone around her up in her own unique, very bizarro way that is not very loving and not very outwardly, like, womanly, like how you would expect for women to be holding the people around them, like very external depictions of caring and helping. She's nutso and like totally self-centered. She comes across as self-centered, but there's obviously a lot of depth there in how she is trying to help the people around her, which is very fun. And then I know I talked about it with Gary yesterday, but the shrinking finale was lovely. I will miss that little show. I know it's coming back. They're going to fast forward years. I think it's going to be a different timeline. But the way that they used those 3 seasons to depict grief, particularly like a male dealing with, it's everyone on that show, but the main Jason Segel character having to deal with the death of his wife and how that plays out in his relationships with his friends, his daughter, finding future love, his life as a therapist. I just thought it was a really sweet show. And it's probably going to always draw some Ted Lasso-esque comparisons just because it was on Apple TV and it was a feel-good show. And I do appreciate kind of the spotlight on feelings. And I think it's produced, I think I realized last night, it's produced by the Scrubs guy.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why I didn't make that connection before. And the Scrubs guy's wife is on Shrinking, and the Scrubs guy's wife, whose name escapes me, she's a music supervisor. So she did like all the music on Scrubs, and she's done a lot of music on different shows, and she's an actress. So all my little shows are connected in the weirdest of ways.
I think that the shows that are popular, I don't know how popular they are, but the shows that I'm watching right now, coming off of the Manosphere doc, it is like, okay, it is nice to see this type, because they're all masculine. They're all like dudes. Those are men out there in these TV shows, but it's nice to see this side of masculinity, this side of manhood.
Yes.
And it shows like, oh, you can love somebody. You can be loved by your friends. You can love the people in your community, and here's how dudes go about doing that. It could be in Scrubs when you see JD and Turk. Sure, they bromance with one another, and sure, to make you uncomfortable how deeply that love is, but then they love their interns, and they're mentors as older stewards of their mentors. And there's a beautiful Dr. Cox storyline that you'll get to. I don't know if you're caught up yet, but there's a beautiful Dr. Cox storyline where it's like, yo, I've got to love my mentor. I'm mentoring them. These are my mentees. I've got to love on them.
That's a fun little full circle moment.
It's just awesome, man.
And the antithesis
really
of that is Industry. Ooh. For those who have been following, I finished Industry season 3. I'm on to season 4. Yes, I did love having Jon Snow on this past season. I'm excited that given the events of the season finale, I would assume that he is on next season as well. That's just like, I told Chris yesterday, I feel like this is like a real story. He said, okay, Jessica. But from like a deep money, like it starts as a story on an investment bank, but then you understand the layers of the people pulling the strings of the money that goes so far beyond the investment bank. There's money, there's new money, there's old new money, and then there's like world controlling money. And it is a fascinating depiction of that functioning. And even like, no spoilers, it came out like 2 years ago at this point. Like the investment bank has now had to be purchased by like Saudi money to keep it alive because it was at risk of going away. And so that's happening in one space. Old money's marrying other old money. It's a wild time.
That's all old money is allowed to marry.
Exactly.
Right?
And she
like
has to, she can't marry the one that she loves. I'm like, this is a tale as old as time.
No.
What are you, Jane Austen?
If you're new money, you might get away with that, and you'll just be shunned by your family. But old money, you can't get away with it. And that reminds me of the GQ interview with Jay-Z, where he talks about, I was staying at the top of this hotel.
I finally listened to it, and it was great.
Who was the owner of the Nets? The Russian. I'm blanking on his name, but went to him and was bragging like, you don't got no money for real. I'm at the top of this hotel, and my man was like, hey, You know, I own that hotel. And Jay
Mikhail Prokhorov or whatever.
Perkovich? Yeah, something like that.
It's not Perkovich, but
whatever.
Sorry.
But like he's like, yo, I own that hotel. And so it is, there's always more money out there if you so choose to greedily want to hoard it. Have you started The Boys yet?
No.
All right, I did. 2 episodes in. They dropped the first 2 episodes, and then it's 1 episode a week.
I swear to God, if they have something about the Pope being weak on crime, I'm going to be convinced that we're just in a simulation.
I have not seen anything about
the Pope. They would not,
Pope.
because that show has been out forever, but it's so on the nose. If they have something where like
we could have wrote that. We could have wrote that.
It sounds like a boys joke.
You and I could have wrote that.
Sounds like a joke that would have, like, the Supes are in a fight with the Pope would be a storyline on The Boys.
Yeah.
And specifically, Homelander is in a fight with the Pope.
Yep.
Is it just 1 episode out?
2.
2?
2, and 3 is coming out this week. So they dropped the first 2 last week, and then it's 1 a week. So sorry. I'm in.
I'm gonna be in.
Every single time we do this.
I'm always
it's like, I don't know if I need another Boys season, and then I'm
this is
in.
the last.
And it's the last one. Now we've got internment camps popping up, so that's always fun. Yeah, so that's going on.
For Supes or non-Supes?
For people who disagree with Homelander, who you can't kill. Yeah. Yeah.
Do it anymore.
Yeah. Buckle up for this one.
On that happy note.
Well, wait, I'm not done with the Boys stuff yet. Your boy Deep.
Yep.
If I said, hey, which one of these characters is going to end up in the manosphere?
The Deep.
Yeah, easy.
There's an Epstein storyline on Industry.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a fun little twist too. And obviously it came out a couple of years ago, so they were early on it.
Okay.
Not early. I mean, that's been going on for
a while.
Decades.
Also watching Invincible. So Invincible, they started the war against the Viltrumites. Things getting hot and heavy. I saw Mark get his guts ripped out and just laying out there splattered on a random ass planet. So yeah, it's some good stuff.
Okay. So much TV to watch. But now the play-in tournament's here, so I got things to do.
But
it's postseason basketball.
It's 2 games. It's not a full slate of NBA games
and
plus a full slate of college games.
1 at a time.
It's 2 games. We can watch some TV and these games.
We'll be back tomorrow to talk about it all. I hope everyone has a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you later. Bye.
Didn't mention that there's a new Mormon joint out.
I've watched 2 episodes.
Oh,
I'm
you
in.
have?
I'm all in. The fundamentalist one?
Yes.
Yes.